Woo, woo, woo. Let's do this. Ready? This is Monday, November 5th. Our advanced kids, we're going to get into haiku and then do a little poem about spears. It should be fun. Let's go with, for the rest of you playing the home version, 1, become out more alive, become less dead. We have homework due tomorrow, which is why your iPad is now cleared off of your desk. One thing you need out is the yellow sheet, and we'll do all kinds of learning things from there. Let's see, that one. And then with haiku, let's take a look at that. Most likely, most of you have experienced haiku at some point in your previous life. If not, you're in luck. I get to help you out with it. If you have done haiku, yay, it's a review. If you've never done haiku, yay, I get to teach it to you. Because they're short and I like to have fun with them. So as we first get here, Dakota, thanks for volunteering, she's going to read for us about haiku, which is also on your handout. If you want to see the one on there, there's the thing about haiku. It's the same information. Yeah, you can choose to read that one or that one. We'll follow along and go from there. All right, haiku! Out loud so we can hear you. Yes.
Can I read all of it?
Yes. No, all of it, just from the beginning to the end.
Oh, that's a lot.
I know.
A haiku is a 3-line poem of Japanese origin containing 17 syllables. There are 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. Such a poem must communicate meaning through very few words and should have one idea or topic per haiku. What? Words? Haiku. The subject matter of the haiku is usually drawn from nature.
Nicely done. With haiku, there's not a whole lot I can use to be all super tricky with you to help you as we go through. Bowers, is it in your locker? Do I need to sell you a new one? That does make it a little tougher. I'll let you borrow a new one. Give me a shoe, I'll hook you up. Now don't write on mine, then I get to write on your shoe. Just awkwardly reach across. Shoe me first. Thank you. And there, that one. Then, back to here. With our haiku, every haiku is always going to be exactly 3 lines and long. We have to worry about being able to count of syllables. How many syllables in the first line? 5. Second syllable? 7. Third one? 5. For a total of?
17.
Just checking how much math you could do. For a total of 15 syllables as we get into it. And how many different things should a single haiku be about?
1.
And that'd be the other big thing is making sure you don't jump around. Haikus focus on one thing. And what is that one thing supposed to be?
Nature.
And it can be anything that comes from nature. You just can't write about like cars or your sunglasses or something like that. Unless they grow on the sunglasses tree. And you can talk about how beautiful the sunglasses tree looks with the sun hitting
That'd
it.
be so cool.
So now, we're going to take a look at some example haiku, just so we can practice them together. The first one says, little piggies are rolling around in the mud. I hear the oinking. So you have little piggies are rolling around in the mud. I hear the oinking. What is our one image?
Pigs.
Nicely done. It comes from nature, 575. When you're counting syllables, you have 3 different ways you can count syllables. One is, you remember the one you learned back in like 3rd and 4th grade, which is clapping monkey method. And then clapping monkey method, you're like, how many syllables are in this word? And you can clap your way through it. Mildly annoying to the people around you, but that's all right. We'll get through there. Eventually, you're going to upgrade to the dropping jaw method. And the drop jaw method is where you can put your hand underneath your mouth. Every time your chin comes down and hits your hand is a syllable. So if you're trying to count how many syllables in peanut butter sandwich, you go, peanut butter sandwich. Ooh, 6. And so you can sort of count it as you go through. Let's see, starfish, 2. And so you can sort of figure it out that way. Just be careful. Don't move your hand up when you do it. Peanut butter jelly, 12. It doesn't work if your hand goes up, so you have to keep it flat. Eventually, you'll work your way up to method 3, which is just, I can hold my hand out and just count them as you go through. You are a giant goober. And so you get to count them as you go through. We'll see how fast you guys get to that one. Next up.
I'm already at that one.
Broken and broken, again on the sea the moon, so easily mends. That one not written by the genius known as me. That's an actual like famous Japanese one from way back when. See, broken and broken again on the sea, the moon so easily mends. What is our one image we have here?
Moon.
The moon. When?
On the sea at night.
At night, and where?
On the sea.
And it's the idea that if you ever see the moon reflecting off the ocean at night when like the waves come in, and it goes kapsh, and the image like breaks apart, and then as the water goes back out, it gets still again. It goes like back together. Next wave comes in, smash, disappears, comes back together. It's supposed to be all fancy and stuff like that. And our third one, written again by the same genius. Squirrels are in the trees. I can hear their chattering. I dodge the acorns. Squirrels are in the trees. I can hear their chattering. I dodge the acorns. Nailed it. So now we're just going to take a look at a couple broken haiku. And I believe on yours, I gave you a broken haiku to see if you could fix the one there. And so we'll see, not on your ones, then they give you the haiku up here, so the ones up here are a little bit different. So our first one says, rocks are really hard. They are used to hold down grass. Some are just brown. But my haiku is broken. How is my haiku broken? Lion.
So the third line only has 4 syllables.
Some are just brown. Nice one. So, hiccup. How would we fix that one? Add another syllable. I'm aware. But how would we fix it aside from adding a syllable? Lion.
Like changing the adjective.
Sure. Well, what would you do? As in, rewrite it.
Some are just spotted.
Some are just spotted. That could work. Mika?
Some are only brown.
Some are only brown. That could work too. Nicely done. Let's take a look at our next one with the dogs are jumping. Look, a tree is over there. I just saw a fish. So our one's here. Alexa.
Keeps jumping around.
Nicely done. This is our ADHD haiku. Where it jumps around from one thing to the next. So if you have to have, but Mr. Brovicast, all those things are nature. They are all nature. But still you have to focus on just one part of nature. So jumping around nature all over the place. And our last broken one. Cell phones are so cool. I love texting all my friends. Read my words, people!
Same.
Saganish.
It's not about nature.
Nicely done. Not about nature unless you plucked it off the cell phone tree. And if you did, Mr. Robiak, I have an apple. I got you. But in that case, it's still not quite the same thing. The last one, I will do quite a few of haikus this week, and we're not going to focus on nature. That's one of the rules you need to know exists, but I'm probably going to ignore pretty quickly. Because one of the things we're going to do this week are called battle haikus. And the way a battle haiku works is you're going to get into a battle with someone, and you're going to use a haiku in order to attack them. Because I use battle haiku all the time. I'm ignoring hands. Watch them just wave all over. Now you are grumpy. And so you can just sort of come through. Every once in a while you can have other ones that attack. Still won't call on you. So I can keep going from there. And so eventually you're going to use haiku to pass along short messages, either be to taunt or attack or kid, something like that.
How's that about nature?
Well,
You just said it's not
kid
my
who
fault.
not paying attention. I'm sorry. You have issues there. Can't listen to my words now. Me said that.
Today.
Already is 3. Just now. Boom. Whenever we do battle haiku, you get to toss the nature part out because you're going to focus on attacking the person with your battle, whatever it might be. Now, this part's not on your sheet. We're going to take a look at a poem called Spider. This is going to be on your quiz coming up Friday, where I'm going to give you a copy of it. What we're going to do now is sort of a preview of the one coming up on the quiz, where instead we're going to practice going through it together, because it has a whole bunch of similes and metaphors, requires you to think and stuff like that. So now there's nothing on the yellow sheet, just you and this wonderful poem up there. Mr. Bobiak, is that the whole poem? Oh, hecky darns no. The full poem's like 7 stanzas or something like that, but we'll try to get to like 3 or 4 of them to make you have less homework later this week. But Hawaiian, you were eager to read. Let's give you a chance now. So I'll have you read stanza number 1 up there. Then we're going to figure out similes and metaphors and what's going on in there. If this poem were a chocolate chip cookie, and chocolate chips were similes and metaphors, this cookie would be partially delicious.
Partially.
I don't want to go too far. Not everyone likes chocolate chip cookies.
All
Alright, Hawaiian! Go for it.
I just wanted to read a haiku I wrote, but okay.
I know, mine's much better. It's okay.
With 6 small diamonds for his eyes, he walks upon the summer skies, drawing from his silken blouse the lacework of his dwelling house.
Nicely done. So we have, with 6 small diamonds for his eyes, he walks upon the summer skies, drawing from his silken blouse the lacework of his dwelling house. You're correct, Roger. In here there are several similes and metaphors. We have to find the first ones when we begin the whole process. What is our first simile and or metaphor we have up there, Roger?
Oh, God.
I know, I was proud of you for volunteering. It's like, it was such a bold move, tackling that one right away like that. And so there's actually a couple up there, but we're going to deal with the first one.
The first line.
Well, I know it could be. Is that what the first one is?
Oh, wait.
This is where bravery and guessing comes in.
Yes.
So, what is your first simile or metaphor?
6 small diamonds for his eyes.
Nicely done. You are correct. You're not done, Roger. What 2 nouns are being compared?
Diamonds and eyes?
Nicely done. So we're comparing spider eyes and diamonds. And so, Roger, next up, why are we comparing spider eyes and diamonds? And before you say it too quickly, it's not because this is what women like to have on rings. Those are different women and they're kind of special. There's another reason why we're comparing spider. I was going to go carve spider eyes. Okay. Another reason why we'd be comparing these 2 things: spider eyes and diamonds.
Because spider's eyes are small and diamonds aren't small.
Not bad, but we could compare them to atoms or specks of bread. Those are also things that are small.
True.
Yes.
You know,
There's a reason why they pick. Did you just shush me? I appreciate that. All right.
I was going to say shiny.
Oh, okay. I thought you shushed me. Like, that was a bold move. You're like, shh, learning is happening. I was like, okay. Correct. I agree. I think it's probably the shiny or sparkly or something like that. Go with it. This next one, kind of confusing. It's kind of metaphor-ish, where it says he walks upon the summer skies. He can't actually walk upon summer skies. So what is it referring to here with this poetic languagey bits when it says he walks upon summer skies?
He's walking.
Ice Ray?
The practically invisible spider web.
Nicely done. So when he walks across the spider web, it's hard to see. And so in that case, it's sort of like he's walking across the sky. Let's go with, you guys know what a blouse is?
Yeah,
It's like a
shirt.
shirt.
I have a weird thing.
He's
Right
going to look
there.
so bad.
So it's like a little shirty thing there.
So
And it
good.
says, drawing from his silken blouse, meaning that he's wearing the silken blouse. The lacework of his dwelling house. You guys know what lacework is?
Yes.
It's like those little
Pretty patterns.
thingies.
For some reason, they tend to grow on grandma couches like a mold. And so this is where you get the
Yeah,
lace
I
things
love
like
those.
that.
Those are so pretty.
I know. My grandma's house has mold. I know. They have
My grandma's
infestations
house is
everywhere.
red.
So, with those 2 lines, drawing from his silken blouse the lacework of his dwelling house, what is he building?
House.
Oh,
a
web.
So that's where
It's a house for
his
him.
spider web comes in.
Leave me alone, Jesse.
That spider looks so pretty.
Now, he does not wear a blouse, so why do we have that reference in there?
Because his like
Because
orb
like
thingy
it
is
comes
filled
from
with
his,
that
stuff.
His sticky, his
String. There you go. So the fact that a web is made out of string, and we have string inside the blouse, and so as opposed to saying, drawing from his silken butt the lacework of his dwelling hut, although might be more accurate, not quite as poetic.
I love it so much.
Me too. Stanza number 2, Moni. Let's give that one to you and figure out more similes and metaphors.
Harmony.
He lays a staircase as he goes under his 8 thoughtful toes and grows with the concentric flower of his shadowless thin bower.
Nicely done. He lays his staircase as he goes under his 8 thoughtful toes and grows with the concentric flower of his shadowless thin bower. Mararar, you're correct again. We have more similes and metaphors in this one too. The first one's kind of tough, which is why it was very brave of you to volunteer, trying to figure out what 2 things are being combined. Only one thing is listed in the metaphor, the other one's in our imagination. What's our first similar metaphor we have there?
Like the first sentence
Sure, which says what?
He lays his staircase as he builds.
Nicely done. Now, the next part. Why are we comparing a staircase to, wait, what two things are we comparing?
A staircase.
Yes?
And his.
What is it he's building?
He's building a web.
Nicely done. So you're not, no, so we're comparing a staircase and a web. Why are we comparing a staircase to a spider's web? What is it that happens on both?
You can walk on them. And,
Climb them.
you can climb them.
Nicely done. You can go up them or down.
That
That was a struggle. I look forward to seeing how well you guys do the rest of the poem on your own, which is why we have
Mr. Brovicast.